So now I can get rid of this loop, or I can just get rid of all of these values. If it's running just through an array that has one thing in it, it's just going to run once with our one chosen value. And what I want to do now, just to show you how this works, is I'm actually going to create this similar plot to what I have here in another figure. And here I'm going to plot the actual prediction of the model. So I want to compare the kind of distribution of our data set, which is kind of messy, but clearly there's some kind of pattern, to what the model is actually predicting for us. Just to kind of demystify this even more and saying, it's not some kind of magic formula to try to get all these points correctly. It's literally just trying to break this data set up into two categories. What I'm going to do is create a new figure, figure 2. I'm going to copy this scatter plot code. And now, instead of our X training scaled, I'm going to use our validation scaled dataset. And instead of our training Y set, I'm going to use the actual prediction. Okay, and I'm going to move my plot show code down here. So it's going to plot both of these figures on different windows, and we can compare them. I'll run this again. So it's trained our model. Now it's only training one, so it's pretty quick. It's generated these two figures. The first is our input data, and this is our actual prediction. So I don't know if you can see this, but it's basically showing our validation set, right? So we had a different set of data than we have here. We have less data. This is just 30% of the data, and this is 70% of the data. And you can see this clear line here where all of these data are red and all of these are blue. Okay, so what the training model basically did is give us the best breakdown to try to predict which of these comments are going to be blue or outside OCT and which of these comments are going to be red or inside OCT based on the amount of words it contained from the in OCT word set and the out OCT word set. Okay, so I'm just going to close these. So now I've created my model, and the last thing I want to do in this script is to export that model and my scalar to a separate pickle file so that I can reuse them in the next script to actually apply the model back to my data. Okay, so I'm going to say pickle.dump. First I'm going to do the model. I'm going to create a file here for my model. And I'm going to do the same thing for my scalar. So when you do this and you're making these models and you're using these scalars, you want to always keep a copy of the scalar so you know that every time you fit or train or apply your model to a feature set, you're always scaling it by the same exact scaling parameter. Okay, I'm going to export both of these pieces of data out to my system. I'm going to run this. Okay, so it's run my model, and now if I go back to my data folder, you see it's created these model and scalar files.